74th Test match between Australia and New Zealand as Brad Fittler, the youngest captain since Reg Gasnier, takes the green and gold of Australia out. Be welcomed by this crowd of probably around 20,000 at the Sydney Football Stadium, headquarters of rugby league here in Australia. This is the man I was talking about, Phil Houston. Well, he's in a happy frame of mind. NZ is in charge of test number 3. So Rod Wishart very much had his kicking boots on at Suncorp Stadium. We'll start the second test. New Zealanders with first use of the football, they bring it back. And a driving tackle by Australia. Kiwis have not won here a test in Sydney since 1959. Brendan Tuta gets it on the third tackle to the 40-metre line for Eru. Now on the 40-metre line, and that pass was rather dubious from Gary Freeman to the number 10 front row forward Jason Lowry, playing on his home ground tonight. And Gene Namu puts this kick in that bounces favourably back for Tim Brasher, and Brasher comes away outside the 20-metre line where he's met by Brendan Tuta and Tony Iro, and a penalty has been given. I fancy it was more against Tony Iro coming over the top of the tackle that had already been completed.
And this shows the Kiwis mean business. Bit of rough stuff here in the tackle. It's Tuta that comes in late, Tuta, and as well as Iro there.
Australia the first penalty. A kick to the far side of the Sydney Football Stadium. And Mark Carroll is the first of the Australian forwards to take it ahead. He plays it near the halfway line. It comes away to his other front row partner, David Gillespie. And 3 other Kiwis come in to make the tackle, including replacement second rower Tony Tutupu. Larson almost through the gap. He had Brasher looming on the inside. The penalty has gone to Australia.
And Rod Wishart motions towards the kick at goal. That's Larson being tackled. A little bit of stuff going on off the ball, but eventually the penalty was for holding Larson down too long in the tackle. So the first opportunity for Australia to put points on the board. Not an easy kick.
90 points in test matches for the Australian kicker Rod Wishart. And here he is now, the Illawarra and Australian winger. Rod Wishart from 37 out, just off centre. Direction's okay. I don't know about length. Yes, he's got it there. Just over the bar. It needed a little push though.
Yeah, just snuck over, didn't it?
Fairly predictable Gary Freeman at the moment as Namu supplies, and again it's Tutupu. Fine player from the Auckland Warriors. A couple of Western Samoans in the New Zealand side. They've pretty much gone with players that have made themselves available for the World Cup in October, with the exception, as I said, of 2 Western Samoans in this side tonight. Brasher it is, who'll play the ball 30 metres out from the Australian line for Wishart. The goal kicker to use Danny Moore. And Moore is put away, but there's a penalty coming. It's a high tackle on Moore, and it looks like it's against Gene Namu. Almost 10 minutes gone of the second test. Watch it. And there's no doubt about it, is the number 6, Gene Namu, a former Manly teammate of the fallen Danny Moore. Came to Manly 16 years of age, Namu. There's Tim Brasher. Takes the kick for line. He fails to find it. So a blemish on the kicking game of Timmy Brasher. Now Bartram went in over the top of Ridge with an elbow as he made the tackle. I'm surprised the touch judge didn't do anything about it. Freeman gives it on for Iro to try and circle them. Then he straightens Ruben Wiki up. And Wiki will play it 9 metres on his side of the halfway for the dummy half Eru. It's gone on for Quinton Pongia, who tries to bump away from Tuvi, and in comes Mark Coyne, and the strength of Coyne again in evidence. Eru on for Freeman to give, and away they go out to the front row of Lowry, and then McCracken, and Jason Smith hangs on. Half break for New Zealand. Freeman gets a quick play the ball. Iro offers him the decoy. Wishart's got him in his sights and puts him over the sideline. So 11 minutes gone in the test, and Australia lead 2-0. Crowd probably in the mid-20,000s watching Australia and New Zealand do battle for the 74th time. Australia has won 50, New Zealand 22. One was drawn 16-3. The series have gone to Australia. But it's not since 1959 that New Zealand has won a test match here in Sydney.
The bad news for them tonight so far, Ray, is that they trailed 2-0. The good news is that they look much more urgent with the ball in their attack. It's more desire to go wide through wide passes from Namu and Gary Freeman.
And Tony Iro's looking good too, Pete. He's really added some thrust out wide there. He's hitting the ball at pace and doing some good things.
So the Australians try to convert another penalty into some points, with Carroll playing it 12 metres into opposition territory. Through from Tuvey on for Gillespie. He thought about it and then hung on as Tutupu made the tackle with Namu. Bartram gets to dummy half and does it well. He's slotting into the dummy half position very well, Wayne Bartram. Plays lock forward for his home club, St George, the number 9 for Australia. And now on for Tuvey to go around the back of Larson, and on it goes for Fittler to give. And he takes a bone rattler from Ricky. Ricky's strong. He can tackle. He pummels you. Now Menzies. They know that he's also got to be tidied up. Reminded that there's some strength and power waiting for him. 40-metre line underneath Brad Fittler as he puts the kick in. He weights it down, hoping for a bounce that'll favour Australia, and it has. There's a chance here for them to peg them in the end goal. They did that. Wishart was the man. Fittler's kick was a beauty.
Perfectly weighted kick from Brad Fittler. Sitting down nicely. Matthew Ridge praying for the ball to get close to the sideline so he could let it go, but the chasers arrived too quickly. Rod Wishart there hanging on by one leg. Ridge looked like he was going to throw the pass, but thought better of it.
We go down the ground with the line drop out from the Kiwis. It went 40 metres, and here comes Carroll. Put away, 25 away from the black and white line. Centre of the park. Bartram using Larson. Larson pushing it back out for Tuvey to evade Eru. He doesn't miss Lowry and Pongia, but they're inside the 20, and Bartram, he double pumps the pass, and the New Zealanders tow it down the ground. Brasher is alert. He goes back. He's able to bounce up and run the ball. Jason Smith is there. They float the pass away for Wishart. He angles back in and runs into McCracken. And also Hoppy. New Zealand have got to get their defensive line set. They have, according to that picture. Across for Tuvey and on for Fittler. A short ball for Menzies, and that's high into penalty.
Tony Iro there cleaning up his opposite second rower, Stephen Menzies. He's claiming it was around the shoulder. I don't think the replay will show that's the case. Gary Freeman trying to lay down something with the referee. He doesn't agree with the decision either. This has got to be a penalty for Australia in good position. Very clumsy shot by the big second rower.
Well, let's watch it.
There was a little bit of a bounce up, but it was still too high.
It looked like the initial contact was round the shoulder.
You all right?
Got to get you too.
I'm okay, Rabs. Thanks for your concern. But yeah, it did drift up there.
Again, here he comes with his second attempt at goal. Beautiful kick. Flags up. Yeah. 4-0. Australia over the Kiwis. Freeman holds it back. Gets it away now. And Ridge comes into the back line. Runs into his opposite number together with Jason Smith. And Henry Paul moves in on the 10-metre line to dummy half. To the right for Freeman and on now for Namu. He rolls the ball in. It came down for Iro. Back for Tony Tutupu. And he gets a pass away. Iro, he gets it away. And in and scoring the try is Hoppy. Sean Hoppy gets the first try of the second test.
And a very good try it was. Well constructed on the last tackle. A little bit of luck with the kick from Gene Namu bouncing into the arms of Tony Iro. But tremendous reflexes from the big man. Freeman opted, or he was going to kick the football, but he passed it to Namu. There was it back to Iro. Tutupu did marvellously well. Beat Brasher, attracts 2 more defenders, swivels, gets the pass out. The select pass over the top to Hoppy. Looked like he was going to score out wide, but stepped back inside the defence there to score the first try, and a good one.
They've been building up for this, New Zealand. The good thing about it was they were all going forward. They're in the match and looking for this first try. Tutupu's done marvellously well there. And Iro, the big long one. And they really deserve this first try.
It's been a good battle, this one, a real test match, and the thing that you've got to like about the New Zealand performance is the fact that they do or are prepared to go wide, but it's been a much better performance in the middle of the ruck. Quentin Pongia's game tonight, you wouldn't think he was the same player that went around in the first test. Been much more dominant, obviously taking over the responsibility of the injured captain, Lomax.
So Ridge can push the New Zealanders a further 2 points in front. His kick is successful, so the try has been converted. And New Zealand, after 23 minutes, lead 8 points to 4. Namu puts in a solid kick. Freeman is down there. Well, Freeman is a mile in front of the kicker at the play of the ball. I would have thought the downtown rule should have been applied by referee Phil Houston. Jason Smith. Timeout call, touch judge in.
Just wondering who's going to be called out here. You would think it was Gary Freeman. In fact, Matt Singh.
So will we see a Kiwi penalty? This would be a handy for them. Possibility of another 2 points. Must have been an infringement in that last play of the ball. Here's the kick through by Freeman. Now Matt Singh looks like he holds Freeman out for a second. Oh, I don't know, Freeman still made the tackle.
And if that's what it was for, it was a very tough call. In fact, I thought Freeman...
Well, there's a penalty, and it's a very tough call by that particular touch judge.
Freeman was all over Matt Singh in the marker position. Could have almost been penalised himself, but another chance for Matthew Ridge here to extend the New Zealand lead to a converted try. There's Freeman kicking out. Singh holds on for a couple of seconds, lets him go. He's kidding.
That's turn it up. Fair dinkum. He is kidding, that touchy.
So 8 points to 4. A very good chance of Matthew Ridge extending that lead even further. With under 15 minutes of the first half remaining now. Just the one try coming for New Zealand, and scored by the prolific try scorer Sean Hoppy, who racked up his 6th test match try. Ridge with 2 out of 2. This might test him. 10 metres in from touch and 20 out. Great kick. There it goes. He's got it. He's nailed it. Ridge. 10-4. Now Harrigan out wider, running off a pivot.
Gee, they've been good defensively tonight. New Zealand only 6 missed tackles in the first 33 minutes. That's great going by them, and they've got rid of that early stuff. They're really putting them on the ground now, New Zealand. A chance now down the blind for Scott.
Great hand, Smith.
Now Matt Singh down the right flank, gets it inside. They might pay for this. Henry Paul down to the 40-metre line, and Matt Singh comes from behind to make the tackle. Across now for Ridge. Then Namu. Inside ball for McCracken. Driven down into the ground by Gillespie and Menzies. Right in the centre of the ground. Quentin Pongia. 3 Australians on him. Eru. For Namu, who shows it to one forward and then chooses to give it for Lowry. Back in for Eru. And he's put away 40 metres out from the Australian line. 10 points to 4. Under 7 minutes of the first half to go. Namu is put down.
I'd be thinking field goal, Ray.
Well, you've picked it, because there goes the shot. It's well wide, and it goes over the dead ball line. Back now for the 20-metre tap to restart.
A long-range attempt there from Matthew Ridge. 32 metres out, just coming, pushing it to the right of the post. Not a bad result, because it allows the New Zealand defence to get set in the restart on the 20-metre line.
Tuvey goes for a scamper away from dummy half. 3 metres his side of the halfway, pushed down again. That brings a penalty. And this will give the Australians a good opportunity just in front of half-time.
This will be the opportunity they really need. They haven't had any time down in the New Zealand red zone. Although that's an ordinary kick. But they'll be 45 metres out. They'd love to have a set of 6 down in that quarter.
Harrigan winds it up. He plays it now 38 metres out from the line. Tuvey on the left. And they deliver back then for Gillespie, coming in for a second man play. Bartram, here's the call from his captain. Fittler runs it to the left of the ground. Almost getting through. Danny Moore on his outside. Bartram runs it inside the 10-metre line. Fittler getting across to the right of the ground. Smith says, I'll take over. He does that. Tuvey comes in, looks to try and give it back inside for Menzies. The Australians on tackle 5. Fittler rolls it into the end goal. Work for Ridge. He bats it over the dead ball line.
Excellent football from both sides there. Australia putting a lot of pressure on the defence of New Zealand. They're looking a little bit tired. They haven't had to defend at this end of the field. Little left-footed kick there. Brasher flying through on the inside. Matthew Ridge didn't get it cleanly the first time. He had support there from Hoppy and finally batted it over.
And the Australians will get the football back at the 36th minute. Brasher waits in anticipation. New Zealand slowing it right down. They're in front. They're calling the tune. They're playing it at their pace. The kick is only average for Matthew Ridge, but it finished up getting him down to the halfway line. And Wishart goes running back. Larson now at dummy half as Bartram comes across to fill that role. On the next play, the ball. Harrigan it is who's tackled. Australians with 4 tackles on this set. Larson consumes the third. Bartram's there now to give on for Tuvey. He goes himself. Jason Smith was out very wide. That's the 4th tackle. They come back. Fittler back to the centre, and Brasher is beautifully picked up in defence. Now the Australians with 1 left, and Fittler again. The cross kick bounces off a Kiwi. They're going to score. Bartram gets it. Touch judges. They concur with the referee. But Wayne Bartram comes up with the try.
Well, New Zealand had some luck in their first try. Now it's Australia's turn here with this kick. Fittler's been heavily involved the last, 5-10 minutes. That rebounds and he gets it back. And Bartram stayed on side. Well done by him. And he gets Australia's first try.
Yeah, I've got to be critical here of Tutupu. It bounces off him and he doesn't react. He stands around, and eventually the man back on the inside, Wayne Bartram, could easily have been cleaned up if they'd have reacted a little bit better. Amazing that both tries have resulted from deflections from the kicks. And Brad Fittler again with limited opportunities. Probably been Australia's most dangerous, along with Jeff Tuvey and Steve Menzies. And it's Wayne Bartram who capitalises. Johnny on the spot. Grab a try. And should even things up here with Wishart. A pretty easy conversion attempt just to the side of the posts.
Oh, a great moment too for Wayne Bartram. Second test, his first try in the green and gold jumper. He must be pretty proud out there.
It all happened fairly quickly. I'm just wondering whether, in fact, that ball hit Tony Tatupu on the head as Wishart converts. So that brings it back to level. 10 points all. Watch it again. The kick by Fittler. And it did. It came off the head of Tony Tatupu, a header. Almost an own goal. Bartram scores. Well, that, I believe, is a spectator who has encountered a problem while enjoying him or herself here at the stadium. Ambulance in attendance and working on one of the people from here at the stadium at the moment.
It's amazing how many times points are scored in that final 5 minutes of a half of football. Under 2 minutes left on the clock now, 1:59. Australia, really the first time that they've had an opportunity down at that end of the field. They've been able to come up with points. Matthew Ridge would have loved that field goal attempt to have gone over, putting his side 7 clear.
Isn't this a great skill by Fittler, though, isn't it? Left foot, I mean, he's a right foot kicker. He's put the lefty in to head back over the goal post there, looking for some support players. In the end, a try anyway. But a very skillful player, Brad Fittler.
You see what I mean there, Paul, with Tatupu? It hit him. Wayne Bartram was actually standing right next to him. Bartram kept alive. Tatupu just dropped out. Really could have come up with the tackle.
Well, players have been now told to take the half-time break. This is all to do with one of the spectators receiving some urgent attention adjacent to the sideline, the perimeter fencing. 2 minutes on the clock, and the referee has opted to take the break. It's quite likely they'll play a 42-minute second half. It's 10 points all then, half-time in the second test at the SFS in Sydney. So New Zealand start the second half, the Australians with Mark Carroll back. It was blood-binned in the first half. He reaches the 20-metre line. The start of the second half now. And Jason Smith just inside the 30-metre line. Apart from that blood bin from Mark Carroll, Bob Fulton has only had the one change, and that was with Paul Harrigan. Of course, that doesn't count a blood bin interchange. And the sound of the whistle, there's a tiny knock-on there from the Australians.
He's found a knock-on by David Gillespie in this play of the ball. And Gillespie probably claiming that he released it just to play it. There's a hand there from Namu. That was the problem.
It should have been a penalty to Australia. There's no doubt about that.
Or was it Pongia? One of them.
Let's take a sideline comment. In fact, a half-time report from Steve Roach.
Yeah, well, Bob Fulton would like to see his team lift their intensity. Don't stand around and wait for someone else to do it. He thought that the game didn't really roll on in the first half. The stoppages by the referee, Australia want to get a bit more of a roll on. He said, watch the fringe of the ruck. He said to Tupu and also Iro causing a little bit of problem on the fringe of the ruck. Make sure you put them guys on the ground. For New Zealand, Frank Hadlicott was ecstatic. He was saying that his team is well on top and they can go on with this match. He said keep attacking at all times and use the ball on the short side.
Talking of Tatupu, there he is out wide again, taking that tackle. Freeman comes across the 30-metre line, and then Namu, he didn't get clean ball, and McCracken doesn't either, and he knocks on. So there's probably a bit of inbuilt justice there for a ruling that was obviously wrong when he gave a scrum and not a penalty in the Gillespie incident. McCracken, for some reason, comes up smiling his face off out of all of this. You fancy that Mark Carroll had something to say to Jared McCracken. It brought a smile as Australia win the scrum, and Tuvi, he might start to run and probe just a little bit more now. The match draws on. Larson.
He's an amazing player, Jeff Tuvey. Very, very dangerous. Good turn of speed. Here's Brad Fittler trying to promote something with Jason Smith. Great down in communication. So an ordinary start from both teams. The second half underway. Matthew Ridge plays the ball very slowly.
So New Zealand quick to spread the ball, and Namu was put away about 10 metres in from touch on the main side of the Sydney Football Stadium. Now Henry Paul, tackled by Menzies, plays it back for Eru. Go to the right for Freeman to give on. Tatupu, stature-wise, he and Tony Iro about the same. They quite snugly make up that second row partnership. Doesn't swing the scrum off balance. Namu puts on a little sprint. Played a lot of first grade and quite a bit of reserve grade with Manly before linking up with the Warriors, and now he finds himself in the Kiwi number 6 shirt. Brasher running away, comes back now. Freeman misses it. Brasher almost slithering through. He's just outside his own 20-metre line, and here's a penalty to Australia. Against the markers. watch and try and identify more specifically what brought the penalty. It's against Tony Iro for not getting off the man tackled more quickly.
Again, I think with Australia going wide, we'll see the pass back inside used to good effect. Obviously, the tighter the defence gets, the inside pass becomes more successful. Gillespie takes the outside pass just on the halfway line. Look for Fittler to bring his runners back on his inside, especially the fullback, Timmy Brasher.
Tuvey then switches the point back for Fittler on the right of the ground. Fittler eventually plays it under Gary Freeman's tackle. Smith came in quickly. Larson improves the football down to the 30-metre line. He plays it back for Bartram to give Carroll another launch at them. Carroll doesn't hold back. One thing about it, when he pulls up in the garage, there'll be no petrol left in the tank. Fittler waits it in. Henry Paul is there. Will he get back? Yes, he does. Good effort. Penalty to New Zealand now.
Well done, Henry Paul. It was almost like he was trying to score a try there as he dived over that try line. He's only 100 metres away from the other try line, but it's very, very important that he did this. And as a result, they get a penalty from the ensuing play of the ball. Good work.
So 10 points all. Go to the 6th minute of the second half. Jason Lowry gets to the 20-metre line. Freeman unloads for Eru. Centre of the ground for the Kiwis, their own end of the park. Iro.
One thing about Tony Iro's performance tonight is that he has timed his runs to perfection. He's got a good head of steam up, come from deep, really hit the ball on the advantage line. He has caused some problems. Matthew Ridge not causing too many problems out wide as Menzies and Fittler wrestling to the ground, 30 out, 12 in from touch.
There's no excess on that rib cage of Matthew Ridge. And a penalty goes to the New Zealanders. Well, this has been very favourable for them. A question from Fittler to the referee, Houston. The young captain bemused by the referee.
The referee ruling that Brad Fittler is holding on to the jersey. And Brendan Tutor with some claims. They're not happy with the decision. There's Lowry being dumped on his back.
Smashing tackle by Larson and Gillespie. This is Quentin Pongia. He's been very strong. He's made 10 hit-ups and 10 tackles. There's been a lot of quality in what he's done as Namu runs into Lowry before offloading for Ruben Wiki. 30 metres out from the Australian line. They go through Namu and go on to Freeman. Freeman gets an angle offered to him by Tuta, who unloads. Didn't help Ruben Wiki's cause. Stood firm, and Fittler angered by something. Iro for Freeman. Then McCracken. McCracken held by Danny Moore and also Jason Smith. Now Freeman away for Namu, and he goes to the air. It'll come down on the 20-metre line. One of the Kiwis felled in back play. I tend to think it was accidental. Singh, normally a centre for Penrith, is on the wing for Australia tonight. He played wing for Queensland in the State of Origin. Great dangerous player if he gets into some space. Wishart, the other winger, pinches another 10 metres, and they're 5 metres from the halfway now, Australia.
It'll be very interesting to see how long both coaches, Endicott and Fulton, wait before they bring on some interchange players and who they bring on. Plenty of strike power there. Matthew Johns, Florimo. See Gillion at some time. John Timu should come into the game at some stage. And they're looking for fresh troops. There's plenty of quality there to bring into the fray.
The former All Black, 26 caps for the New Zealanders. John Timu, about to become a dual international. Iro. Namu. Cross for Ruben Wiki. Wiki has failed right on the halfway line. With good yards, however, and New Zealand on the attack as they go to the halfway line again with Freeman.
Someone going to the blood bin now. Freeman just lacked some runners there. That's where New Zealand are falling down. Pongia off to the blood bin. They had a good run by Wiki, and then no one to follow it up. There's Brent Stewart, who was the prop forward in the first test, played quite well too. Relegated to the reserves bench, and now he's on.
So Gene Namu puts the kick in. It came off Australia. They didn't play at the ball. The Kiwis kick it again. Brasher comes outside the 30-metre line. Richard. Sense that there's some space up the middle. Referee said not around the neck. He indicated chest high. Carroll crosses the halfway. Takes it into enemy territory now.
A couple of gaps starting to appear in the Kiwi defence in the middle of the ruck. Some good yards made again by Rod Wishart. That's a high tackle. Brendan Tuta will have gone too high on the Australian ball runner. It's just 40 out. Wishart will be tempted to kick, but it's a pretty difficult one despite the fact there is little breeze. Jason Smith is opposite number, the recipient of the high tackle.
There's Tudor attempting a ball and all tackle there, just went a fraction too high. Referee, good that he pulls those tackles up. You've got to keep the players honest.
So that's where we are. 40-metre line, and Australia opting to go for the line. The captain takes the kick. 8-7 the penalties to Australia. It's been a consistent distribution of penalties by the referee. Singh takes it almost to the centre of the ground. Tuvey lets Carroll go. Gillespie is the chosen runner. 11 out from the line in front of the uprights. A two-man decoy, then Menzies. And Menzies is held by Iro, Freeman and Ridge. Jason Smith peels away from the play the ball. He's on the right of the ground. Tuvey, or should I say Larson, is 5 metres out now. Brent Stewart in 15 made the tackle. Bartram goes back for Tuvey. Then out for Fetler. Knocked down by New Zealand. This might be 6 more. It is. Back on the 20-metre line. Played by Gillespie. Carroll takes it ahead. He's 12 metres out. Second tackle. Australia with a chance. Jason Smith. That's not his caper. 5 metres out from the line. And it's a penalty. It could be this. It is the sin bin. Tony Iro, a professional foul.
Oh, it's bad luck for New Zealand and Iro, who's having an absolute stormer out there tonight, both in attack and defence. So give 2 points now for Australia. They might have been tempted to go for the try. They've got plenty of pressure on against the 12-man team. But Brad Fittler has said, no, let's take the 2 points.
Would have been very difficult for New Zealand to hold on there. Tony Iro has taken the odds at interfering in the tackle. There you can see his right arm knocked the ball out of Wayne Bartram's hands. And that was a very good decision by the referee. That is a true professional foul. And that is what the sin bin should be used for. And not only will Australia now lead by 2, they'll also have 12 men against them for the next 10 minutes. And this could just about decide the test match.
Rod Wishart. He's only 4 points away from cracking the 100 in Test match football. 12 points to 10 after 52 minutes. Brendan Tudor is off as we welcome you back to the Sydney Football Stadium. Another change has been made. New Zealand with 12 men. Tony Iro in the sin bin. And Tony Tumavavi has gone on in jumper number 18. In fact, in his first test, it was Tumavavi, the replacement on for Brendan Tuta. This is Jason Smith, almost breaching the New Zealand defence. And a knock on by Bartram, but it's a penalty. And it's against the New Zealanders. holding the man playing the ball, grabbing him by the leg. Watch it.
Yeah, that was there. Gene Namu, player penalised. I think Bartram could have nearly made the mistake without that. You saw Tim Brasher's reaction. He thought it was a mistake. But you get away with what you can. Certainly helped Timmy Brasher in that instance.
Here's Gillespie now on the 40-metre line. You want to be a whistleblower one day? Fittler's kick turns the Kiwis around and puts them back in their own in goal. Where was Matthew Ridge on the run back? Great chase by the Australians, by the kicker, Brad Fittler. This is Henry Paul. Now they're 15 out from their own line. We're 19 and a half minutes out from full time. The second test match. Australia and New Zealand. Australia by 2 points, and New Zealand still with 12 men. Iro is in the sin bin. Brent Stewart is put away. 28 out from his line. Kiwi starting to bunch a little bit, which is, I suppose, acceptable back inside your own 30-metre line. They certainly haven't given themselves a great deal of breadth in attack. As this kick is put down the ground by Freeman. Brasher turned around. A busy night for both full-backs. And here he comes beyond the 20. Legs are cut from under him. That's a great effort by Quentin Pongia. It wasn't Pongia, but Tua Mamavi, who makes that tackle too.
Great tackle from Tony there, 2 in a row. Very good kick from Gary Freeman. He wasn't in a good position to kick the football either.
You've changed his name 8 times tonight.
I want to thank you for your support as Menzies beats one.
We'll just call him Tony Alphabet.
Flicks it out the back, and it is Mark Coyne who'll play the ball. You don't need enemies when you work on this commentary team. Jason Smith is tackled as Iro comes back on. The pass is ill-directed. Mark Coyne is there. He gets away from the tackle of Henry Paul and puts a kick down the ground that will force Matthew Ridge to bring it back. Bartram and Coyne ran straight down the ground. He put everybody on side. And from the 10-metre line, his own end of the ground, Iro quick to get his sleeves rolled up again there and take it away.
Tony Iro owes his side a very strong 17 minutes. Put them under enormous pressure and gave away a lead by going to the sin bin. A big finish expected from him. It's Tupu able to break the tackle. Gary Freeman using Menzies as a shepherd.
Freeman throws the dummy, tries to go himself. Lowry supports him, and then a shocking pass from the eastern suburbs prop. Hoppy is with it. Wishart takes his leg. They're on the halfway line. McCracken. Namu's kick is across the ground. Henry Paul is coming quickly, and Matthew Singer's with it. He's away from Paul. He's outside the 10 on the 20. And then Wiki comes across and smashes him. Australia then with Jason Smith.
They're about to get opened up, New Zealand. It was a very poor chase on that kick. Only Henry Paul going through quickly, but gaps are starting to appear. They're getting very tired, the Kiwi defence.
This is Menzies. 12-10. 16 and a half to go. A test match that'll only go 78 minutes. Gillespie. Larson over the halfway line and then driven into the ground. Strong stuff there. Tuamavave. And here's a shot for drop. It's a big kick. Oh, it's a towering kick, and I think he's got it. Brad Fittler. He's kicked that from the 40-metre line. 13-10. Oh, this is enormous. 42 metres on the fly.
It's a great kick. But I'm not sure if Coach Fulton, if that's what he wanted.
It's almost a wrap for the New Zealand defence, isn't it? 3 clear. Now the ball comes back to this end of the field. Well, Fulton will think it's the right tactic as long as Australia don't make a mistake down this end and give New Zealand a chance. But what a strike. 42 out, and he measured it to perfection. Just dropped over the bar.
Gary Larson then. John Timu prepares to come on and becomes a dual international.
I can't believe Henry Paul's been the player replaced. He is one of the players out there who can ignite this New Zealand attack. And that's what they're going to need in this last 15 minutes. I thought that he'd have to be out there for the duration. It's not the case as Fittler drives the ball low. It's going to be a pretty good kick, putting a lot of pressure on Ridge.
Menzies is the first there. So New Zealand with Timu.
Oh, there's plenty of walkers out there now for New Zealand. Tupu, Lowry, Chiumavavi, they're all slow to get back on side. They really are struggling.
Freeman. Namu. He's proving elusive and Freeman supports him. McCracken is there. McCracken fends off one. He can't get rid of Brasher. Brasher puts him into touch.
Well, the performance tonight of Gary Freeman and Gene Namu have been outstanding. They've been inspirational. Here McCracken gets around Wishart. I don't think that he was in touch there at all. I thought he got the ball back inside before he was taken over the sideline.
Yeah, no doubt about that at all. That's a harsh decision on McCracken there. Might cost the Kiwis. Because from there, they will play on. They still had plenty of support back on the inside. And Gary Freeman, too enthusiastic around the base of the scrum, never onside. Didn't retire, and a scrum penalty, which will give Australia great field position.
That's also a welcome to Matthew Johns. He's trying to impose himself on the youngster. Unfortunately for his side, has given away 15 metres. 6 tackles, 40 out. Chance for Australia to wrap up this game.
Gary Larson. 30-metre line. And Australia with Jason Smith met head-on by Quinton Pongia. Tumavavi involved in the tackle as they go over for Matthew Johns, and he picks up Menzies. Menzies lurking out wide. He can be very, very dangerous at any point in the game. Well, was there a marker? Referee said play on as Menzies reaches the 10-metre line. Starting to get tired out in the centres, and you've got Menzies running at you. Here's Fittler now putting on the big step. Tupu makes the tackle. Five gone. Florimo, he goes for the drop goal, and he gets it as well. So we're going up in one.
Field goal, I thought.
We've got to take a break. It's 14-10 in the second test. $27,568 people at the football stadium tonight. A crowd of about 2,500 more than Brisbane for the first test. This is Florimo, who put over a neat drop goal just in front of the break. Gillespie is brought down now. 16, that's Harrigan preparing to go back out. He's got a big match on Sunday. The one that we'll cover at Marathon Stadium between Newcastle and Brisbane. Now, Larson. Last tackle, 14-10 Australia. And 69 minutes gone as Fittler puts it over into the corner. McCracken is out on the wing now. Timu has shuffled into the centres, and Menzies displays the speed that sees him on Sunday play in the centres. Suspension of Terry Hill sees Bob Fulton ready to make that change with Stephen Menzies. He played centre before making the transition. Now Pongia.
We've got just over 10 minutes left in this game, and if New Zealand are to force a decider, they've got to score at least a try. Timu Shrey's the dummy. I don't mean to harp on it, but I cannot understand why Henry Paul would be taken off. I know that Timu had to come into the game. But to win this match, they've got to score points, and they've got to have men out there who can do that. He's one of those players.
Matt Singh. 28 out from his own line. Under 10 minutes to go as Danny Moore tries to break the New Zealand defence. A defence that tonight has been miles better than it was in Brisbane. David Gillespie goes off and Harrigan will come on. Larson is over the halfway line. This is Matthew Johns. 5 gone. Through Fittler. On for Smith. They cut out Brasher and go to Coyne. Now for Singh. He goes back to Brasher and he puts the kick up. Ridge with no pressure. No apologies in the tackle. Sean Hoppy. Stewart. Time is there. They can do it, but have they got the stamina? Penalty will help them, and they get it.
Well, in the first 40 minutes, the first 38 minutes, New Zealand had plenty of time in their opponent's half. That hasn't been the case in this second stanza. And the rare opportunities now coming from New Zealand. They have to get the football down. If they can't score in this set of 6, roll the ball into the in-goal area, get it back from the line, drop out, and have another go. They've got to string together sets of 6.
Quentin Pongia tries to squeeze the pass. He did. Tumavavi made the catch. And here they come, the Kiwis, with one of their last chances. Not only to win this, but to keep the series alive. Ridge, Namu, Freeman, they cut out Pongia. They pick up out wide Tatupu. 20 metres out. Namu uses Iro. Iro keeps going. One of the Australians goes ricocheting out of the contact. Eru. Pass goes back. And it was knocked backwards as they keep it alive, but they're losing ground. John Timu gets the kick high and across for Brasher. And Brasher, he comes away from the end goal with a flashing run. Good work, Timmy Brasher.
Yeah, well done. Great defence by the Australians, defending this 4-point lead they've got. They kept up in the New Zealand faces. In the end, Timmy Brasher came out with a beautiful take and a nice run. Harrigan now on the charge.
Harrigan throwing self-preservation out the door. Larson now cartwheeled into the ground. They're on the 30-metre line. Jason Smith. Now Coyne. Matt Singh comes in and he's put away by McCracken. That's a turnover. I've got a feeling it might be the first in the game.
There's very quick thinking from Jason Smith. Australia caught offside here. So some ground to be made up through this kick of Gene Namu. He's gone for a long one, and it's a very good kick, 32 out. Smith sending Singh away down the blind side. No marker. And New Zealand again regroup. Let's throw the dice.
Brent Stewart is 25 out from the Australian line. Eru. Pongia. 14-10. 2 field goals in there. Namu. Oh! Lost by the New Zealanders. The ball touched the Australians and went back to them. They're on the 20-metre line with 6 more. Freeman over for Namu. Then it's a long ball for Wiki. Wiki put down by Coyne. His defence in the centres has been outstanding. McCracken tries from dummy half. Freeman. Freeman to the line. Looking to unload, but the forward support had gone. Now, Namu. Tatupu on one side, Iro on the other. The ball comes out the back. John Timu, the ball goes away. Picked up by Sean Hoppy. Gets out of a tackle. He's on the 10-metre line. Brasher hangs on with Danny Moore. Eru's pass for Namu. As they come left across the ground. Ridge comes in from the back. Ridge. 7 metres out. And that's the turnover.
Oh, what a Beautiful tackle there by Jason Smith on Matthew Ridge. He's 3-on-3, but the tackle had to be made. It was a great tackle.
I think the pass had to be thrown too from Matthew Ridge as he was falling down. He had to let the ball go. Couldn't afford to hand it over. And pop one back on the inside.
Larson now. Freeman has come off. Harrigan is with it. We're just checking on the number of replacements the Kiwis have made. Unless there was a blood bin that got by our guard, it could have been an error made here, but it's Fittler supplying for Jason Smith. Oh, that's beautiful hands by Smith. Coyne tries to keep it alive. Not that they needed to. 14-10 the score. Australia, with 3.5 to go, are in front.
Well, again, if it's not an injury for Gary Freeman, I can't understand how he's come off. Sure, he's getting tired, but he's got to be more value out there in these last couple of minutes than, say, a Brent Stewart or a Chewy Mavavi. They've got to win this series. To do that, they've got to win this game and score a try in the last 3 minutes.
Hoppy now plays it. This is Brent Stewart. On the 20-metre line. There's plenty of confidence in the Australian crowd now. McCracken. Ridge. Namu. Wishart coming in. Beating 2, beating 3. Taken in the 4th by Matthew Ridge.
Oh, he doesn't miss those tackles, Matthew Ridge. A desperate tackle, otherwise Wishart was under the sticks.
Larson. 20-metre line just in front of him. Bartram. Harrigan. Johns. Well read and picked off in defence by Mavavi. Fittler holds it back and tries himself. 2 metres out, tackle 5. Smith away. Bartram on. Johns kicks. Brasher's come from nowhere to make a dive at it.
Well, this has been an excellent game of football, a tremendous test match. That was just what the doctor ordered. Matthew Johns into the in-goal area, took a deflection off Henry Paul. Sean Hoppy there just in time to beat the grasping arms of Timmy Brasher.
Hasn't it been a good test match as Trevor Gilmeister gets ready to come on for his second ever test match. Short kick off by the Kiwis, straight to us, played into Australian hands here. Got the ball 20 metres out.
Danny Moore. Greg Florimo. 10-metre line. 1.25 minutes to go. Gilmeister. Smith. Brad Fittler. Brasher's in again. He's had a great game tonight, Timmy Brasher. Strong under the high ball. Made the extra man in that back line. His defence has been strong. Fittler rolls it in. Menzies! Menzies! He scores for Australia. 30 seconds from full time.
And that's the series to Australia. They've wrapped it up there. Menzies. Once again, Fittler, that left foot chip back towards the goalpost. New Zealand defence, none to be found. They're happy, the boys. Tuvey, Carroll, Gillespie, the Manly trio. And here's Fittler. It's Menzies trailing back on the inside. He was always onside, not a black and white jumper within 10 metres.
Well, I think we've just seen the 3 best Australian players combined. Timmy Brasher set it up with a storming run. Fittler, a deft little kick through for Stephen Menzies. They've been Australia's best 3 in a good team performance. The siren goes. The Trans-Tasman series is over. Australia have deservedly taken it out. Tonight it has been a true test match. 2 very good football sides. The Kiwis They've done a great job tonight, just not good enough. You can see the disappointment.
Well, there's the young captain, Brad Fittler. A moment of great joy and emotion. His personal effort was outstanding. He made 25 tackles, Brad Fittler. He kicked the ball 15 times. Rod Wishart. He joins a club of players to reach the 100 in Test matches. He converts the Menzies try. Before him went Meninga, Cronin, O'Connor, Langlands, Pitting, Irvine and Barnes. And now he eclipses the 100. Australia at full time. They defeat New Zealand by 20 points to 10. And they win the Trans-Tasman series. Of course, it winds up at Suncorp on Friday. 20 points to 10. Bartram and Menzies the tries. Wishart 5 from 5. So he hasn't missed a goal in 2 Test matches. 10 out of 10 for Wishart. Fittler and Florimo got drop goals. Much improved performance though from the Kiwis.